Previously on Ballz.
And Rob has just joined us now on Skype. Good afternoon, Robbie.
Good morning from New York, Darren.
How's it going there?
It's an absolute perler of a day after a bit of dodgy weather the last 2 days. Today is looking really good, buddy. And fingers crossed we should have some good tennis.
Fantastic. Oh, I mean, it's such a dramatic last few days at the at Flushing Meadow. And not least of all, let's start right there. The Fed gone.
Out of here. Yeah, he came up against a guy who played some unbelievable ball, man. Burditch is the kind of guy who's frustrated me when I've watched him over the last couple of years. This is a guy who should have been contesting Grand Slam semis and finals on a regular basis, Darren. He's got the firepower. He's proved it on the odd occasion, but not at the tail end of big tournaments. But he played tennis that was right out of the top drawer. Roger was a little off. The forehand in particular let him down. I think well over 20 unforced errors off that side. And it was interesting, John Lafney and I were actually chatting with Martina Navratilova yesterday, and she was saying, she made the comment that she felt that as she got older in her career, the older you got, when you had your bad days, they were so much worse than when you were younger.
Yeah, why is that? Why do you think that is? Just because it's just more difficult to, when you find yourself having to try and play catch-up tennis, that it's more difficult to sort of get yourself up there and come back into a game? Or do you feel that maybe your opponent knows that, you know, if they've got you a little bit on the ropes, their confidence is so much better about finishing you off?
Yeah, I don't know if the holes that you get yourself into just seem deeper from a personal perspective. It's, you know, when Martina was talking about it, she was talking about it from her own experiences as a player. It's not something I can relate to, or something. It's not the kind of comment I've heard. So that's why it struck a chord with me, especially coming from somebody of that kind of ilk. But I guess perhaps, you know, even when you have as much confidence as someone like Roger does, it just shows you when you get a little older, it does perhaps shake it a little easier. I think that's the only way I could put it, Darren.
All right, so look, I mean, it's not the end of him. It's one Grand Slam event. It's happened, and you know, he's still got a bit of time to come back and maybe notch another couple, one or two. What it does do, though, it opens up things massively for people like Djokovic. We can't discount Burditch. I think they're up against, well, Burditch is up against who? Murray. And it opens
is
it up
playing
for
Murray and Ferrer Djokovic.
And so it opens it up for Andy as well to win a Grand Slam.
Well, it does to a certain extent. You've got to remember he's got a losing record against Burditch, so that doesn't hold too well for him. They played twice this year. Burditch got him on a clay court, but on the hard court match that they played in Dubai, Andy was able to come through in straight sets there, Darren. But he leads the head-to-head 4-2 to Burditch, so it's definitely no guarantee that he's going to get through. Burditch's obviously playing a lot of confidence at the moment. So is Andy. I mean, Super Saturday, as they like to call it in New York, is going to be unbelievable. Ferrer's match, I don't know if you saw the matches yesterday, but Ferrer's match against Tipsarevic was ridiculous. I was courtside there for that one. At 6-all in the fifth after 4.5 hours, literally the whole stadium stood up and applauded them before the fifth set breaker started.
That's amazing stuff. I mean, you look at who's left in this competition. I'm just saying, so it's Burditch, Ferrer, Djokovic, and Murray.
Yeah,
correct.
And only one of those has won a. How many of those has Ferrer won a Grand Slam yet?
No, he hasn't. He's been He's been here in 2007. He was a semi-finalist here, but of course this year at the French Open he was a semi-finalist.
So that opens it up nicely for three of them to actually get a first Grand Slam title, if I'm not mistaken. Djokovic is the only one that's nailed one, right?
100%. So of course that's massive
pressure on him
for all those guys.
Yeah.
But no, not really. I don't think so. I think. Sometimes I think when you've been there and you've done it so often, as Djokovic did last year, I think he's glad that he doesn't have to go through the likes of, you know, Federer and Nadal to win a major again. So perhaps from his side, he's thinking, Jesus, this is about the easiest ride I've had in the last 4 or 5 years to win a major. So, you know, as a coach, you've got to box smartly with your corner. You've got to tell him how easy it is, and there's no ways he should be losing this one. I think you've got to try and be smart about how you get the message across to him. Of course, if you're an Andy Murray box or if you're a David Ferrer box, you've got to talk about the opportunity that Nadal's out, that Federer's out. Massive opportunity for you.
But two things favour Djokovic. Well, the fact that okay, well, he's ranked 2, but obviously Ferrer coming through that massive game last night, that surely will have taken it out of him, and Djokovic has the advantage on the hard court.
He does. Ferrer's definitely improved. Is that Simon? It is Simon, eh?
It's the one and only.
I'm stunned as well, Rob. I didn't even know he knew which end of a tennis racket to hold.
Wikipedia.
Shut up, John.
Definitely on a hard court. You got to back Djokovic side, but
that game last night, I mean, I think the guy will be tired.
Well, he will be, but I tell you what, the guy was prancing around the locker room afterwards like you wouldn't believe. Tipsarevic was lying on his back, had ice all over his body. Ferrer looked like he could go another 2 sets. He's incredible. The guys have got a day to recover, a day and a bit to recover. So most other guys, I would say he's got no chance. But knowing Ferrer and watching him over the years and seeing how he looked after the match yesterday, he'll probably be better than most. But it will have taken something out of him. I can't deny that.
Yeah. My point about maybe a little bit of pressure there for Djokovic is that there's 3 other guys who are all virgins when it comes to Grand Slam titles. They'll know that they might never get another chance like this again. So, look, everyone goes in there giving 100%. But these guys are going to go, this is our chance. So, it's, you look at a guy, okay, well, Djokovic should walk it. I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think he's going to win it.
Yeah, don't you?
Nah. I think it's one of Ferrer or Berdych.
Hard-earned cash,
I'll put some cash.
My sentiments are with Andy Murray. I'd love to see him win one.
Oh God, the Palms, Rob. The Palms. We'll never hear the end of it.
You know, for me, it's a personal thing because I first played against him when he was 15 years old at the tournament in Nottingham. First time I ever came across the guy. So I've kind of watched him, from inception all the way through his career. I've been commentating a lot on it.
How much did he give you at that tournament?
Thank God his partner was so bad that he managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But it's been so nice to watch the whole progression, and I'd love to see him just win one, because of everything I see that goes on in the British media. I think it would help shut them up for one. But I've picked Djokovic to win. I just think after watching him last night, man, the guy's impenetrable. The match against Del Potro, the quality was ridiculous. Yeah. That second set is probably one of the best sets of tennis I've seen pretty much all year. And I look at that and I think, what do you have to do to get through this guy? Del Potro threw everything at him. His ground strokes are bigger than Murray's. His serve is bigger than Murray's. What does Murray offer that Del Potro doesn't? And that's the burning question for me, Darren.
All right, just we have a new thing here where we just play a sound when. So I know you got another question, Simon, but Johnny's found something on Wikipedia that he wants to turn into a question.
Morning, John.
Hello, Robbie. Serena Williams, you were speaking about looking really on song. She's looking absolutely fantastic. What do you rate her?
She could be Djokovic,
the absolute demolition of Ana Ivanovic.
Yeah, it was a bit of a clinic, wasn't it? She's playing unbelievably well. I think it's hers to lose. I think the only person who could probably beat her is Azarenka, but Azarenka needs to get through Sharapova in the battle of the noise. I think it's been built here. I can't see her losing it, John.
Okay.
She's playing so well. The only person, if Azarenka's on top of her game, Serena's a little off. In fact, she was a little off in the final last year when she came up against Sam Stosur.
Yes.
So there is the possibility. She was a little undercooked last year, though, when she came into the finals of the US Open. Hadn't been playing a lot of tennis before the US Open last year. This year, it's a different story. So I think that's holding her in good stead.
Yeah, just you can help me out with a problem here because I can't figure this one out. I think I know which way I sway, but I just want to know who do you fancy? Okay. Who do you fancy more, Sharapova or Ana Ivanovic?
No, for me, it's no competition. It's 2 days on horseback. I'm going with Ivanovic.
Thank you very much, Rob Koenig. That's the way I was leaning. I think she's way hotter than Sharapova.
Way hotter, Darren. Way hotter.
Is she still with that Aussie boy?
No, she's not.
Who was she with?
She was with Adam Scott for a while.
She dumped him.
Yeah.
Finally,
since
thank
he lost.
goodness. I love it even more.
I've got a little bit of inside gossip for you. Did you know that Sergio Garcia Hentukova have got a little bit of a thing going on at the moment.
But he loves tennis players because he was doing something with Martina Hingis as well, wasn't he?
He was.
What would
Yeah, he was bringing out the one word.
And Robbie, what about the gambling in tennis? This is a big story. That,
One Oak, John.
Yeah, One Oak.
Jeez. No, it's not a big match fixing scandal
Close
in tennis.
sports
There's been a lot of
now.
reaction to
One
it.
idiot, it gets bust.
But that's why I love the men's game. Is just to go back to what Rob was saying about Serena Williams. When Serena Williams is on song, it's pretty much done and dusted. It's a given. Yeah, we're talking about the men and we're saying, well, really we're leaning towards Djokovic, but there's a possibility, and we're not ruling out Murray or even a Ferrer possibly doing it, which is great.
It is. I think it's so much better for a sport when you have rivalries. Of course, the WTA is going to sell it that there's so many different champions, blah blah blah. But I think for me, sport is all about rivalries. When you had the McEnroes and Borgs, you had the Sampras and the Agassi. You've got, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer at the top of the game now. So you've got the challenges this week. You've got Berdych. Is he going to be able to challenge? Is Murray going to be able to challenge Djokovic? I think men's tennis is in a golden age right now, and I think we look back in 50 years' time, we're going to talk about how great Federer was, how great Nadal was. I think Djokovic has got plenty of majors left in him as well. So I think we're very fortunate to be watching this at close quarters at the moment, Si.
Yeah, it's awesome. Tennis is, I think you can say it's back with a bang, because it went through a bit of a lull period, and people maybe were spoilt with the sort of the Borg, McEnroe, Connors kind of era. There was Sampras and Agassi for a while, but then it kind of went into a bit of a lull, and I think some of these guys have brought it right back again. And I'm even noticing more and more people talking about tennis and following tennis as well, which is really cool, because when you've got this kind of rivalry going, it is absolutely fantastic. So no, please don't. Are you still there, Rob? Oh, he's reconnecting again. Fortunately, he's got a very, very quick Skype reconnect facility, unless he's just hung up because he has to go and commentate. I had one more question for him. Is he coming back? Or isn't he coming back?
Doesn't look
I
like
think
it.
he had to go off because he said he was doing very quickly.
No, because he knew you were going to ask him a
Oh, he's
question.
back very quickly. Okay. Sorry, Rob, I know you got to rush off. I know you're back with us. Just very briefly. Are you there? Rob? Nah, we've lost him. Okay.
Okay, it's cool.
All right, that's
What did you want to ask him, though?
Something about Anna.
I'll see if I can field it.
I want to know who Anna Ivanovic is with now.
I can't field that question, but I will Google it.
And I was going to take a bet with him on. He's phoning us back. I'll ask him now quickly.
Who is Anna Ivanovic?
No, don't. He's back. Are you there?
Apologies, guys. I think it was me.
No, we thought you had to rush. So I'm sure you do have to anyway. Just my final question was, who's Anna Ivanovic with now? Please don't tell me Hantuchova or one of those, because.
No, definitely not. I think she's on the open market at the moment, so that's a good thing, isn't it?
All right. Well, listen. Team me up. You got it. Here's the bet. If Berdych or Ferrer win, and not Djokovic, then you got to tee up even if it's
intro.
a 30-second intro. Yeah, just a chat with her next week.
Okay, that's a deal. That's a deal.
In future.
Bikini weather.
Just want to tell her I love you. Yeah, bikini weather
with Anna Ivanovic.
With Anna Ivanovic. There's the deal, right? And if Djokovic wins, then Jono will do bikini weather for her.
Oh no, goodness gracious! I think we know who we're all pulling for.
Enjoy the weekend of final tennis at the US Open. Thanks a lot. Always great chatting to you from Flushing.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Thank you
John
so
and
much.
Si.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Rob.
yes.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Robbie.
buddy. Bye-bye. Rob Koenig joining us, talking tennis, the US Open, interesting times, and a big weekend coming up.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on Ballz.co.za. Ballz.co.za.